5'10", weighing 145, with a record of 4-1 from Forged Fitness from Columbus, Ohio, by the way of Raleigh, North Carolina. Please give it up for Adli Sunshine Edwards. His opponent in the red corner at 5'9", weighing 145, with a record of 2-0, fighting out of Evolution Fitness of Concord from Kannapolis, North Carolina. Please give it up for Mike the Kid Powell.
Our final fight of the night. Fight for 4, Chaz Bryant along with Tyler Shepherdson.
He had an interesting take on this fight. Mike Powell said this is either going to be really, really fun or it's going to hurt really, really bad.
That's classic Mike Powell. Classic Mike Powell. Yeah, both these guys, I know Mike Powell's a jiu-jitsu guy. Adli comes from that wrestling background out of Ohio.
And here we go. We are underway in our main event of the evening. Adli Edwards, intensity in the eyes.
Yeah. I didn't know it at the time, but I saw Adli at a fight in Ohio about 4 years ago. He had kinesia tape all over him for that fight.
Mike Powell catches the kick. And who would have thought that? He scores a takedown on a D2 All-American wrestler. And quick to go to the back. He's got one hook in. He's underneath the chin. I think that is going to do it. Adli Edwards clears his chin and gets it underneath. Mike Powell still holds those hooks in, but now he is on his back with Adli in his guard. What great work by both of those guys.
Absolutely.
For Mike Powell to go in and catch that, and for Adli Edwards to be able to fight that off. I thought that was under the chin.
That's probably just the testosterone, all that stuff being built up right now. It's still early in the fight. It could have been the third round. It might not have been fought off that easily.
That's the thing, though. You got to think Mike Powell gets a choke in that deep, this early. There's not sweat to make that slick by now. I mean, you think that would have stuck in there. So
that's all.
Very impressive for him to be able to slide out.
I'm pretty sure it's right now adrenaline strength right now.
Going back to the feeling out process, you can definitely tell Adli Edwards has that wrestling stance, standing with his head over his front legs. You can tell he's a little timid on throwing them kicks now after what just happened. Mike Powell good with the kicks from the bottom.
Adli with some nice.
Adli returning a kick of his own.
Reciprocate with those kicks, and both of them like shaking their heads at each other like, no, that's not going to work. No, that's not going to work.
Mike Powell egging him on and said, come on.
Yeah. Like I said, these are great practicers in their respective avenues of mixed martial arts. Like I said, Mike Powell's don't want to say he's up to a black belt now. I don't want to give him that rank just yet if it hasn't gotten up there yet. But Powell's been grappling in jiu-jitsu for a long, long time now.
Look at this. Puts it in slick over the leg, looking to find that heel. Adli Edwards fighting it off in about the best way that you possibly could. Ends up back on top, has the leg cleared. Let's see if he can work that over to side control from that position.
And in Mike Powell's corner over there is another one of his pros at his gym, Nick Scrappy Rodriguez over there, and came off a win just before Thanksgiving up in New Jersey.
Mike Powell once again showing his jiu-jitsu. Gets himself back into the guard and then throws up a triangle.
And that's
just to top it off.
And that's that fancy stuff you were talking about. Adli was saying that's not going to happen in this fight. He's not going to let him have it. Stands him back up. Johnny Jessup. Apparently we're at an art gallery too, because this crowd a little more reserved. But maybe we're just watching, enjoying this fight going on right now.
It's quite the intimate setting.
Yeah.
Spinning back kick just off the mark by Mike Powell.
George first. 30. Good. Shield and stay low here. Shield and stay low. Good.
Takedown.
Excellent blast double by Adli Edwards, getting the takedown. Mike Powell throwing the strike, and Adli Edwards going in with that blast double.
Violent too in the last 30 seconds left in this fight. 10 seconds left, a couple of big
Unloading
shots.
on those ribs.
Yep. And that will end the first round. This main event going on here between Adli Edwards and Mike Powell. That was very entertaining. That was very entertaining. I probably want to say that blast double there at the end of that last 10 seconds, 30 seconds there in that first round probably gave Adli that first round. But I don't know, man.
I don't know. That one's it's a tough one to call, and we haven't really had any controversial decisions. I don't know how the judges score things, but I mean, I think I would be leaning towards Mike Powell in that first round.
Okay.
A couple near submissions there. He had a couple takedowns of his own. Caught the kick, took him down on that far side, took his back, worked some really good jiu-jitsu, but Adli had several takedowns of his own, including that last blast double there at the end. So,
and that's the thing. Sometimes it's that last thing that the judges see before they write down whatever number they want to write down. So that's why I'm saying, you know, it's always the last impression people get. But a very nice fight between these two pros. He said fight, but he had his wiping off sweat off of him.
Right back on that till, right there. Till. That's it. Good. Good. That was good, Adli. Perfect.
really been impressed by this fight so far, and the grappling from both gentlemen.
Well, these guys have a couple of nice kicks to the body there.
Start over, Adli. Start over.
Powell trying to get that takedown.
Mike Powell deep in on the shot, was able to get his hands locked, but they're a little bit high, right around the waist of Adli when he got there.
Yeah, both of these guys have a pretty long amateur career, despite having less than 5 pro fights. They've had a long, extensive amateur career. Mike Powell was a title holder. I know at least one promotion with Fight Lab. I don't want to say he might have had another title belt with another promotion too. As Johnny Jessup will break him up. Put him back in the middle and here engage.
Strong, crisp kicks by Adli.
So it was the second round where Mike Powell won the fight against Dylan Mason. So we'll see what happens here.
Strong hit on that exchange there by Adli. Over under with the outside trip. Adli brings Mike Powell down and winds up in side control.
And Adli's
Knee up over. This is going to be a bad position here for Mike Powell.
Adli's only loss came last year. It was a decision loss for Cage Fury Fighting Championships.
We're +2 right here, Adli. Plenty of time.
August of 2017.
Hips now, hips. Yes.
Couple big shots.
Stay there.
Adli posturing up in that open guard of Mike Powell. Mike Powell on the ropes, dealing with that and the downward pressure of Adli.
See what Johnny Jessup does here. And he's looking closely, maybe trying to step in. But no, he's backing off some.
Left knee up. Left knee up. Let him close. There you go. Now, 2 minutes. Keep him jammed. Keep him here, Adli. Just jam him up.
Now.
Hips. Strike, strike.
Adli Edwards really controlling the
Yeah.
second round here.
Left arm.
And I think it's one of those things where I think Mike Powell might have a little more something going on if he had that cage, that fence against him.
Yep.
Because right now it's he's trying to turn himself around on the ropes, and the same techniques sometimes just don't work. He's got to watch himself. Might give up his back. Nice.
There we go. That's it.
Good scramble
Yeah.
here.
90 seconds, Adli. We're +3 right now. We're +3. Stay disciplined.
Discipline, Adli.
And it's great we can see him in this
Beautiful. No rush.
Beautiful, Adli. Keep this range.
this perspective that we had of Adli. I was just watching his eyes the whole time, staring down Mike Powell.
Hey, discipline.
Don Jessup's going to stand him back up.
Right there. Till. Liam. That's it.
Back to their feet here, going back into the exchange. Mike Powell coming in with a 3-punch flurry, landing a couple. Adli looking to get right back on the legs and lands his second takedown of the round. Adli, as we mentioned, an elite college wrestler in the Division II ranks.
He was at Ashland University, if I'm correct.
Yep.
Yep.
In OHIO. Coming into the fight, Mike Powell actually said he's a little bit concerned, might get stuck on the feet because he didn't know if he could take Adli down. It turned out to be the opposite. Adli's going to
A couple of big shots.
be
Mike
looking to have
Powell's
his
eating
fight
up.
on the ground.
Mike Powell's taking a couple of good shots to the face there. As we end the second round. So, it's continuation, I think, of the end of that first round with Adli Edwards really putting his will all over Mike Powell. And unfortunately on the ground right now, Mike Powell is, like I said, a terrific grappler in jiu-jitsu, but he's had no answer so far. He's not been able to do anything, Mike Powell, in this fight so far. He's tried a couple of things. He had tried to go for the submission middle of the first round over there, but couldn't finish it due to just brute strength out of Mr. Edwards. But
Yeah, I'd like to see Mike Powell be able to work more of his bottom game. He's been on bottom a lot here and hasn't really been able to get anything going.
yeah.
I know that's the biggest thing he is confident in is his jiu-jitsu. So I'd like to see that come to life here in this third round because he's going to need it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's behind. If the fight were to be stopped right now, it would probably be Adli Edwards. I keep wanting to say Adli Stevenson, but he was the old politician from the 60s and 50s.
Down 2. See what he wants. He's down 2.
Yeah, another takedown by Edwards. So of course, Mike is a hell of a lot better grappler than I am, jiu-jitsu. He's just got to find something
That's it. Till. Perfect.
to get some sort of advantage to get a submission.
George to Liam sometimes here. George to Liam.
Yeah, Adli coming right back out, looking to take down again.
Again. Good posture. Take your time. There it is.
Back up to their feet now, and he's landing some heavy knees in the clinch.
Good posture here. Posture up.
He's got a hold of the ropes there. Referee letting Adli know that he knows where he is. He said, "What are you trying to do a shot on the edge right there for?" There's some beautiful commentary people there.
Very important.
Excellent. On your feet.
Another inside trip by Adli.
Yep.
Edwards.
Guard is open. All right, inside control with your arm.
Got elbows there going on there.
Lots of time here.
He's going for your left arm. Square, square, square. Good. Keep square. Play smart. Don't rush.
Mike Powell's got a hand on the shin, maybe looking to work some rubber guard action here. And just as I said that, he lets go of it. Got about 2 minutes left in this fight.
Watch the left arm posture. Let's pop up. Let's pop up.
And I think Mike Powell's going to need a finish if he looks to keep that undefeated
Absolutely.
record alive.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that. With that assessment of what he needs to do.
It's hurting him, Adli. Nice. Stay busy. Yes. Halfway. Watch your chin. Back.
Couple strong kicks from the bottom
+3. Till right now.
as the referee stands them up. Strong right hand from Mike Powell. Stuffs the takedown from Adli Edwards.
I was going to say, and Adli knows what he just wants to do now, is just completely just take him down to the ground. Once he figured out that formula, the rest of the cake has been made.
Yep. Adli is slick with that inside trip. Gets another one. I'm sorry, that was an outside trip on that one.
Get your trips corrected there, man.
I was tripping.
Come on, short elbows.
+3, Adli, 2 minutes.
Hammer fist him here.
Stay disciplined right here. Good.
Adli Edwards remaining comfortable
Yeah.
in that top position here. Winding the clock down.
Yeah, it's mainly what he's doing, just wanting he could just stand up the whole time and just dance around the ring if he really wanted to for the next remaining minutes and seconds of this fight. There's no really a need to engage all that much. He's going to go for another takedown, but it's just burning calories, I guess, at this point.
There we go. That's it.
Good work as he continues to work the knees here over in the corner.
Target's here.
Referee letting them know they need to keep working.
Yeah, referees want to see a little more action out of
Here we go. There we go.
out of the pros, a little bit more.
Adli utilizing those foot stomps.
Yeah.
Adjustments, keep going. That's fine. Nice.
Either that or he saw a spider, I'm not sure.
Probably the spider at this point. It's getting pretty late. Spiders are coming out.
Twins, Adli, twins. Twins, step back off that knee guard. Step back.
The snow spiders actually are coming out.
They're trying to get in from the storm.
Yeah,
Find shelter.
Snowmageddon 2018.
Step off the guard. Step your right leg back off of the guard.
Hurricanes, snowpocalypses.
That
We fight
always
through all of
seems-
it.
Yeah, when we just need to check the almanac whenever they have a fight for it event.
Good.
One's been affected by a hurricane, another possible 30 inches of snow in Carolina region. Exactly.
And that is going to bring an end to our main event of the evening, our final fight of the night between Adli Edwards and Mike Powell.
I'm pretty sure it's going to go to Adli Edwards. Once we got past that half of the first round, it was all Adli. Once he figured out the formula of takedowns, that was his bread and butter. I think not having the cage limited Mike Powell's options a bit. It's not saying he couldn't have won this fight, but I think he could have done a lot more stuff inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges have a decision. It's a unanimous decision for the blue corner, Adli Sunshine Edwards.